yeah, energy quotient, yeah. Wake up, oh yeah, wake up, yeah, oh yeah, wake up, yeah, available. Oh yeah, champagne, yeah. Shut up.
I'm in awe of this beautiful background. I wish I were there, wherever this is. I'm in reading week mode, and I thought my last background was boring, so I was like, why not just place myself in somewhere beautiful? And this is probably a lot easier for you to look at if you're watching this video, and it's something to entertain you while I just ramble on. But yeah, the opening of this video, the I think is very, very important. It's something that I think you will really find helpful when understanding the 3 communication patterns in irresolvable conflicts, especially for any kind of upcoming exams or future knowledge or understanding. So yeah, I'm just gonna get into it. So the first A, well actually there's 2 A's and 1 W, so I'm sorry if that confuses anyone, but the first A is avoidance, or topic avoidance, and this is the most minimal step that one will take from avoiding any kind of escalation within a conflict. Really just making all of these strategies are really just efforts made by one or more of the parties to help manage the conflict. So yeah, avoidance, as described by Miller and using the example of her students, is the steps that one would take before an argument even occurs, or any sign of a potential argument. Just completely keeping, things closed off. So whether that means not expressing what you're feeling, or you can tell somebody's upset with you and you don't want to push them, or it could even be something like, I'm just gonna completely talk about neutral subjects that won't spark any kind of, add any fuel to the fire, so to speak. So that's the first one. And a fact about topic avoidance is that there is on average 13 arguments that had occurred in her tested students' irresolvable conflicts. So that's just kind of a number to keep in mind. So over the term of the conflict, 13 arguments had occurred from that. And this can suggest that, irresolvable conflicts, arguments aren't always prevalent. They're not always constantly occurring. They just kind of over span of time, they can just kind of, can go a long time, one day or between one period of time, and then next you could have back-to-back arguments. It's really just, it's not always steady. So that's pretty much what it's saying, which is good in a sense, because like I said, this strategy, it's all about avoiding it. So if they use that strategy and there's only 13 over the span, and the span could last from 20 months, she says, to 10 years. It really just depends. So 13 arguments in that sense isn't too bad. It's not too prevalent. So yeah, that's the first A. The second A is argument prevention, and this is kind of similar to the first argument, the first A, except in this case, some kind of initiative or implication of a potential issue with somebody has already kind of been addressed. So usually what this would apply to in a situation is if somebody would kind of insinuate something, hoping that the other person would be offended or take the bait and start arguing with them. So it's really about one person trying to resist that temptation to argue with somebody, and instead just choose to, not talk to them or not continue with the brewing of the conflict. So an example of this could be if someone rudely said to you, hey, that shirt you're wearing is getting pretty tight on you, and then you want to say, oh, are you calling me fat, are you saying I've gained weight? In that case you would just, maybe you make a joke, or you just don't say anything, you walk away. But insulting somebody or letting them know that you're upset could really add fuel to the fire and escalate the conflict and get it to a place that you're gonna regret letting it get to. So that's the second A. And the third A is withdrawal. This occurs when an argument has already happened or is in the process of happening. And in this case, it's really just about trying to end the argument. So whether that be, like as Miller illustrates, with 40% of her students, either walking away or completely talking really will help to end the dispute. So yeah, that's the last step. So all these tactics, like I said, are about minimalizing the conflict, because irresolvable conflicts, they may, like I said, they may not be completely resolvable. You may not always see eye to eye with someone. You might have an issue that lasts forever, and you might feel overwhelmed by it with all this negativity and saying things are never going to get better. Clearly it just gets worse and worse. Rather than doing that, try to be positive and understand that everybody, this is very common, everybody has these kind of issues, and all you can really do is try to find ways to make it better if you find that it's come to that irresolvable place. And I think we all have done that in our lives. It's a very natural thing she's describing. She's really just trying to label and organize these tactics that we use, because I'm sure we've all done that thing where someone says something that makes you uncomfortable, and you rather than trying to take the bait or get mad, you just kind of suppress things because it's not worth it. You try to be the better person. That's pretty much what these all are explaining. So yeah, awe is very, very important in understanding, different kinds of irresolvable conflicts. So yeah, that's pretty much it.